What? Yeah. Don't. We here, Power Monday, baby. Power Monday all up in your area. Pride don't get in the way. I said, please. Pride don't get in the way. I said, please. Pride don't get in the way. Let's talk about these athletes today. Power Monday all up in your area. Okay. So today, on the Daily Go Getimism show, we are talking about shut up and play ball. Should athletes get socially and politically involved? That's what we're talking about tonight, y'all. Yes. Back up, yo. Hold on. Nah. Yeah. One more time. One more time, yeah. So, should our athletes become socially and politically involved? Well, there's definitely a case for it. I mean, some people might say that nobody cares what athletes have to say. I would dispute that. I would absolutely dispute that. But we're going to see. We're going to see. Yeah. Let me see here. Pride don't get in the way. I said, please. Pride don't get in the way. I said, please. Pride don't get in the way. Don't get in the way. Don't get in the way. Yes. Back up. Yo. Oh, shit. Hold on. Okay. Let's do it like this. Let's do it like these. So if y'all haven't seen a new video, hold on. If y'all haven't seen the short video on YouTube, check this out.
For all my fans of the Grinch Who Stole Christmas, this one's for you.
Let's go.
Wahoo, wahoo.
All right.
Wahoo, wahoo.
Let's get set up.
Wahoo, wahoo.
Shall we?
Wahoo, wahoo. Wahoo, wahoo. Wahoo.
Y'all ready?
Wahoo, wahoo. Wahoo.
Okay.
Wahoo, wahoo. Wahoo, wahoo. Wahoo.
Set it up like that. I'm just trying to get things together. We good. We good. How y'all feeling, man? Info Spot 411. What's up? Bicep Boy said, when do your foot fetish begin? Oh Lord, here we go. The fuck is a pusher? Sorry, sir. If you're looking for weirdos, you've come to the wrong channel. I can direct you to where some weirdos are, but you won't find them here. Hold on. There we go. We good. Are we ready? I believe we are. One time, y'all. One time for your mind. As we start to break it down, now you hear me. Yeah, we gonna do this thing. Don't need to fear me, yo. I'm just here to break it on down for other cats who act like clowns, and I'm down like a submarine, keeping my sneaks clean. Man, best believe that I'm on the team, and I'ma make sure I represent for mine, and everybody knows that the sun always shines. What you talking about? Everything is gonna be all right when we're going out, and never going out like suckers. Yo, you wanna kiss the ring? Well, go ahead and pucker. We are good. One time for your mind. All right, let's go. Okay. Power Monday all up in your area. It's the Daily Go Getimism show. It's the daily. It's the Daily Go Getimism show. Power Monday all up in your area, man. I'm feeling like a real man should. I hope y'all feeling like real men and women should also. Tonight on the Daily Go Getimism show, we are talking about Shut up and play ball. Should athletes become socially and politically involved or socially and politically active? I think it's a strange thing that there are a lot of people who really don't feel like entertainers or whatever should ever become socially or politically involved in anything. But when you really think about it, it makes sense that they would be used for social causes, injustices, to spread the word about anything that you would probably want to spread the word about, is because a lot of people follow athletes, entertainers or whatever. They have worldwide influence often. Like, people care about what they have to say. And it's funny how people will try to deflect from that fact as if entertainers don't have a lot of influence when you know that they do. And from the time that we're children, we grow up watching our favorite athletes or our favorite actors or singers or rappers or whatever they do. A lot of times we want to be like them. Not all the time, but a lot of times we may emulate them. We may buy their merchandise. If they have toys that come out or other things that have their brand on them, we buy them. I mean, who would have thought we would have seen the day when these entertainers are coming out with clothing lines and becoming billionaires because of it? Who would have ever thought it? Look at what happened with Kanye West. And he was socially and politically conscious. Look at Rihanna. Now, I don't know her stance on any politics. I don't know her stance on any social issues, but she absolutely became a billionaire. And it wasn't through entertainment. Now, we look at certain athletes who never got politically involved in anything, and a lot of times we don't respect them. There are many times when we don't respect the person or the people who want to hide in the background, who don't seem to want to get involved. They don't want to toe the line, or they don't want to shake the tree. They don't want to be a part of anything that may cast a certain shadow on them or put them in a certain light. Like Michael Jordan. Many people do not respect Michael Jordan because he seems to have refused to get involved in certain social injustices, political injustices. He never seemed to take a stand on anything. Like, what can we associate Michael Jordan with as far as his political views, his social views? Mike refused to get involved. He's like, listen, I'm going to sell sneakers and other apparel or paraphernalia, and I'm going to stay out of the way. Totally opposite of a LeBron James and other athletes that have gotten involved, deeply involved. Well, we talk about LeBron James. LeBron James has been in the NBA for 20 years. 20 or 21 years. I believe he came into the NBA in 2003. Came into the NBA in 2003, and look what he has done. He's definitely put his stamp on social causes and made it known where he stands as far as social issues are concerned, political issues are concerned. LeBron James has had a back and forth with Donald Trump, highly publicized. And many people on the Republican side have been the ones that told LeBron James to just shut up and play basketball. Don't nobody want to hear what you have to say about no social or political issues. That's not your job. I think it's interesting that you would tell somebody like LeBron James that it's not his job to become socially or politically involved in anything, or not to use his influence in order to bring awareness to any issue or take a stand on any issue. I mean, when you really think about it, it's kind of ridiculous. Advertisers know and have long known the power that athletes and other celebrities have when it comes to selling products. They've been knew it. They understand it. They understand it. There is no doubt about where they are with it. So to try to downplay it, like, all you know how to do is play basketball or football or whatever. Well, there's no way we're going to be able to get through this conversation probably without talking about Colin Kaepernick. We know how far Colin Kaepernick went to bring awareness to police brutality and social injustice, particularly when it comes to black people. We know what he did, whether we agree with it or not, because, I don't think that Colin Kaepernick did everything right. He certainly didn't do everything wrong, but you can definitely find flaws in what he was doing. But his intention, maybe you can definitely identify with what he was trying to do. Whether he did it right, whether he did it in self-interest or whatever, that can always be called into question. But we cannot deny that he tried, that he went forward with it, that he did it. Started a movement. We can't deny it. InfoSpot says, Lions fan checking in. Well. Lions fan checking in. Well, go Lions fan. No, it's all good. It's all good. Bicep Boy says, when did your foot fetish begin? InfoSpot says, son, I got an idea for your show. I'll call in the number. Call in. The number is working right. Yeah, well, we got a new number and it's always working right. We're not giving out no bad numbers no more. There will be no times. There will be no times when the number is not working. There will be no times. Do me a favor, y'all. As y'all come in here, please hit the like button, share the show, subscribe to the channel. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, this is the Daily Go Getimism Show. I am your host on 752. All up in your area. Feel like a real man should. Oh my God, I gotta get used to this new number, boy. I gotta get used to this new number. There we go. 267-874-1949. All right, so let's get that together. So the number is there. The new number is there. InfoSpot says MJ wants to keep to himself on politics and social issues, and that's fine, just as others who speak out, that's fine as well. I don't think it's okay for MJ not to speak out. I don't think that it's okay, but that's my opinion. That's my opinion. I just feel like if you are, if it's okay for you to sell overpriced sneakers, retros, if it's okay for you to brand yourself with your former styles and have them cost 3 or 4 or more times than what they originally cost, and you're selling to young people who are saving money and doing God knows what in order to make enough money to be able to afford your shoes, I think that you can speak out on something. I understand why he doesn't, but I think he should. But I get it. I totally get it. Sometimes you can say more by not speaking than you may by speaking out loudly. Cheryl Halsey, what's going on, ma? How you feeling? Good to see me, good to and thanks for coming on through. I appreciate y'all. One and all, we do this thing on this show. Yeah, we stand tall. I think it's that kind of crazy, but I can't face it. I ain't trying to hear this thing up. All right, let's go. Hello world, what's good? What's good? Hello world, good to see you all times. Hello world says athletes are here to pacifiers, bread and circuses. I'm interested to know what that means. What does that mean? Bread and circuses. What does that mean? What does that mean? What does it mean? All right. What does it mean? Well, one thing is for sure. We live in a world where we have the First Amendment and we can make decisions about whether we speak out about something or not. We can always make that decision. And many of us have made that decision. Now, one thing that Donald Trump has made crystal clear. Oh, did you get cut off? Did you get cut off, my dude? All right. Yeah, y'all can call in. Y'all can call into the show. It's all good. We are good. We are straight. We are straight. One thing Donald Trump made abundantly clear in his first campaign in 2016, the second one, and this one. Popularity matters. Popularity matters. And anybody who doesn't think popularity matters is only fooling themselves. Because when you have a voice, you can use it to do whatever you want it to do. You can push it to do whatever you want it to do. You can take it to wherever you want to take it. You can use your voice in order to help. You can use it in order to hurt. But one thing is for sure, when people know that you have a lot of people following you, they follow you too. Even if they don't want to originally, even if they don't think it's a good idea, even if they're just following in order to hate you. He outlined that. He made it clear and he proved it. That's why he was always talking about crowd sizes, and that's why he was always talking about popularity. No other president had done that before him. He did it outright. Yeah, look at these crowds. In other words, if I wasn't saying something that somebody wanted to hear, if what I had to say didn't mean anything, then why would all these people be here? Why are they hanging on my every word? So he knew that if enough people followed him and he could push his agenda and he could say what he wanted to say, he could just put something out there. It didn't have to be true. It didn't have to be factual. It didn't have to even make sense. When you are popular and when you are rich, people listen to what you have to say. I'm sorry. As a matter of fact, you don't have to be popular first. You can become rich first and then become very popular. It's very hard to be rich without being well known. Somebody is going to know you. Your name rings bells. More than likely, it's because they want to see you. They want to see you, and people think that you can show them how to make some money, or you can give them some money, make them some money, put them in a place where they've never been before. So who would be better and more visible to the public than athletes and entertainers? Now, that's not their job. Their job is definitely not to, be a politician or to be an influencer in the way of pushing for social change. That's not their job. But doing their job as well as they can do it, and the success that comes from them doing their job can put them in spaces where they can do some other things. We know that two things can be true at the same time, and we also know that you can learn to do other things that you may not have been good at before, or that you may not have even known needed to be done. We know this. So, because we know it, we can also use certain things to our advantage. Business people know how to use other people, actors, singers, athletes, entertainers. They know how to use them to their advantage. Why do you think like car dealerships and whatever products, they have an athlete on there that says, yeah, And my new Nissan, this, that, and the third, or my Toyota, or my Kia. And you're thinking to yourself, like, this man or this woman has millions of dollars. What's the likelihood that they're going to drive a Toyota, a Nissan, a Hyundai, a Kia, whatever? Well, it doesn't matter whether they drive one or not. They may have 10 other cars. Doesn't mean that one of them can't be a Kia. Doesn't mean that one of them can't be a Hyundai. Doesn't mean that one can't be a Toyota or a Nissan. Doesn't mean that at all. They're all good cars. A Honda or whatever. But when you have enough money to be able to pay an athlete to represent your product, then you can get some other things done. You can do some things that other people who don't have that kind of capital can't do. You can get visibility, and you can listen. The power of advertising, it works. The reason that businesses advertise, the reason that they promote, is because it works. When people see that a lot of people are doing the same thing, they take into consideration, or they consider doing the same thing. It's a fact. It's a fact. There's no way around it. So also, if you can have the greatest product out there that ever existed. If nobody knows that it's there, let's see here.
You have a call from.
All right. Okay, just hold on a second there. I got you. Let me just finish this thought, and I will take the caller right away. But yeah, when you have a product you could be like the greatest basketball player in the world. If you never make it onto a team where you can showcase your talent, then there's no way you'll be able to prove that you were the best. You may be the best that never was discovered. You may be the best player that never lived, or something like that. But once you get a chance to be on a platform or in a space where you can showcase your talent, where you can put yourself out there, where people can see you, where you can get your shine on, where you can show everybody what you can do, where you can compete against the best and possibly beat the best. Well, it's going to mean something, and it's going to mean revenue for you. But it's also going to mean visibility for you, and it's going to put you in a space where you can get some things done. You may be able to bring about change in a lot of ways that other people would never even dream of. You may be able to bring about change where other people would, So that's the power of advertising. Advertising. When a product is advertised, in the psyche of most people who see the advertising, they see, well, if this product is coming on this many times and I'm seeing it above or more than everything else, then this must be the thing. It must be the it thing. You ever see a billboard of a product or a cause or something that you've never heard about before? I bet it makes you look it up or ask somebody about it. Like, what have you ever heard of this thing? Like, what is this? It'll make you ask, because you figure it's out there. So what's going on with it? We have a caller on the line. Caller on the line. What? We have a caller on the line. We gonna do it one time. Yo, call in. You can get your shine. I'ma give you the number. I'ma give it to you one time, two time, three time. You can get on the line. It's 267-874-1949. That's the number to call. I said one. 267-874-1949. Yes, y'all. I said a 267-874-1949. Yeah, get on the line. I said a 267-874-1949. Yeah, get your shine, baby. Get your shine, baby. Get your shine, baby. Get your shine, baby. 267-874-1949, baby. Call 267-879-49. 267-874-1949, and we can get you on up in here. We have a caller on the line. Caller with the last number is 0297. Welcome to the Daily Go Getism Show. Thank you for calling in. What's on your mind this evening? What's good?
Hey, this is Ed from Detroit on my YouTube channel, InfoSpot 411 in the chat.
That's what I'm talking about.
Suggestion for your show, I'll get that later. But on the topic, my 2 cents. I kind of commented earlier. I'm okay with any celebrity or athlete wanting to speak out on a political or social issue, as well as I'm all right, and I have no problem when a celebrity or athlete decides that they just want to keep to themselves on a political or social issue. Like a couple examples, I'll take Tiger Woods. He's golfed with Donald Trump. From what I know, he likes Trump, but from what I know, made a decision, not to go out and rally for President Trump or, speak up on his behalf, or he just kind of just keeps to himself as far as, whether he's a big supporter of Trump or he votes Republican or whatnot. I'm okay with that, just as much as I support Colin Kaepernick's right to speak out on social issues and political issues. I don't agree with everything he does, but I certainly support his right, as I've told people before when this topic's been brought up. I mean, if somebody can't kneel down for the national anthem and protest for social injustice, where are we as a country? I don't completely agree with everything he has to say on social injustice or how his comments on how Cuba is free medicine and free education. And if you look further into it, it's not that good. That's why when Castro was alive, he had to go to Spain for an eye surgery. But I support the right to do so. I guess where me and you might slightly differ, I don't feel that they're obligated to, and I'm not disappointed if someone makes a decision not to get involved. Sometimes I have an issue a little bit like with Robert De Niro, for example. Speak out against Trump and F him, this and that, fine. But when it's to the point like almost every award show or something, and you're being brought up and being honored for something, the first thing you do, F Trump, F Trump, F Trump. Okay, it's free speech, but I mean, I just look, I'm like, but yeah, that's just right. But I guess that's the my stance is on the topic.
Okay. Well, one thing is for sure, they are not obligated to support anything or necessarily do anything outside of their craft. So I look at it like this. You have a voice and everybody has an opinion. Everybody has an opinion on certain things. There's no way you can get through a whole day without having an opinion on something. Now, to be socially or politically correct, we are encouraged not to give a certain opinion that may be abrasive to one side or biased toward another side or whatever. But I don't really think that there's a problem or should be a problem with taking a side when you want to take a side or expressing the way you feel. I don't see anything wrong with trying to teach somebody something or with exposing something. And that's something that almost everybody in front of a camera does. The visibility thing is pretty much your green light to be able to mold your influence the way you want it to go. So when people, when any athletes or when any entertainers try to dumb it down, like, I don't really have an opinion on that. I just think everybody should live the way they want to live. I get it. I do. I get it. They don't want to lose supporters or whatever because their bottom line is really on the line. But the thing is, you're going to lose people along the way anyway, just for not saying anything. Now, you may not have a way of measuring how much you've lost, but I know I've heard plenty of people speak out about people like Michael Jordan because he has been directly asked about certain things, certain social issues, injustices, black issues for sure. Because we know that somebody like Michael Jordan, who was born in New York, moved to North Carolina, and basically had to be the best at what he did in order to achieve the success that he had. And you're not going to tell me that throughout that whole process, he never endured any racism or any white supremacy or anything like that. So, to even try to duck that is ridiculous. I get it. He doesn't want to take a hard stance on it because it's going to make it a little harder for him to sell sneakers. It's going to be a little bit harder for him to be a billionaire. I understand. But my thing is, because a lot of people didn't respect his right and his decision to act like he don't know or doesn't have an opinion. We don't know how many people have said, well, there's no way I'll buy his shoes again. There's no way I'll buy his sneakers. There's no way I would buy his paraphernalia. There's no way I would support anything he does. There's even whether he has businesses outside of Nike and the sneakers, and he does. He has other endeavors. He didn't just become a billionaire that way. It's all about branding. So, like I said, I don't think that there should be a problem with somebody expressing their opinion on social issues or whatever. You don't have to necessarily blame any particular person or any class of people or whatever. But when you have something that everybody would obviously have an opinion on, and you act like you don't have one, or you request not to be asked, or you duck all the smoke. I'm like, okay.
Well, let me ask you this as you bring that up. Let's take, and I like this comment. I'm trying to, but you might, Patrick Mahomes, when he was asked, was it shortly before the election? They were kind of the reporters, as far as when I say they, sports reporters and general reporters, when they were probing him, are you kind of supporting or voting for Harris or for Trump? And he just didn't want to get into whether he's a Republican or Democrat, or he likes Harris or Trump. And he just made the comment, hey, I basically, I hope everybody votes. I support the right to vote or not vote if that's what they choose. And I support anybody's right to vote for the candidate they feel best. Something like that. But I have no problem with it. He probably, and I can understand when and celebrities speak out on something, they just don't want to deal with that issue. And, that's their right. If they, speak out, let's say on behalf of Harris or half of Trump, or they speak out on social injustice in support of it or not support of it, they just don't want to be bothered and deal with that, And I'm sure they all have their opinion. I'm sure Patrick Mahomes has his opinion as far as, whether he voted for Trump or Harris. But anyway, what's your thoughts on his comment and how he handled that?
Well, with Patrick Mahomes, and to be honest with you, I'm not a fan.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I don't mind being biased one way or another. You already know. But I'll say this, because he's an active athlete, in the prime of his career, I can't necessarily blame him for wanting to play it safe. You know what I mean? Because, even if you say for no other reason than not to bring any unnecessary attention to his team. You know what I'm saying? He's already the most visible player on the team. Well, actually, it may be Travis Kelce because of the whole Taylor Swift thing. So they may be sharing the spotlight, so to speak. But I could understand if Patrick Mahomes says something like, "Well, I don't want to bring any negative attention to this team because I already we won 2 Super Bowls in a row. We're on our way to competing to win a third, and I don't want to ruin this track that we're on. So maybe one day, maybe when I retire or when the timing is just a little bit better, maybe I'll come and take a certain stand, and or it could be that he doesn't really care. You understand what I mean? Like a lot of people don't vote. So they may not. Maybe they have an opinion on. Maybe they have a personal opinion on certain what you call politicians or something like that, or issues. But that might not be their thing. It might not be the thing that hits them. You understand what I'm saying? So I kind of get it from that standpoint. But when we're talking about shut up and play ball. We're mostly talking about people who are told that their opinion doesn't matter because they're just an athlete. And when you really think about it, it's so ridiculous. And I'm going to outline some things that a lot of people don't really think of. The obvious thing that people may think of is the fact that they already have a following. Advertisers, businesses always use athletes and other celebrities in order to sell their products. Why? Because they're already famous. So their credibility for using products or the perception that they may use these products, people are going to listen to them. Look at Oprah Winfrey. Anything that Oprah pushes goes platinum. It don't go gold. It goes platinum. You understand what I mean? Her influence is strong because people respect her because she's rich. She's very visible. She's smart. And she has this integrity thing going on. So even when people don't agree with Oprah, they still listen to Oprah. Oprah she normally backs whoever is in the Democratic Party. Now, that totally goes against the grain of her tax bracket. Totally goes against the grain. But it shows that she obviously cares about something more than just her personal wealth. So she normally takes a stand against whoever the Republican candidate is or whatever. And I think it's for more reasons than that they're just Republicans, because like when Barack Obama ran, she wasn't quick to jump on his side. At least visibly, she wasn't quick to jump on his side. She kind of made it sound like, well, he seems like a pretty good guy, and I did my research on him and blah, blah, blah. Like, look, listen, your show is in Chicago, or was in Chicago. He's from Chicago. You know what I mean? So, she played the way she wanted to play it. But she's a billionaire. And there's no way that people are not going to listen to what a billionaire has to say. Donald Trump knows that. He knows it. And that's why he's a grifter. He sells things.
So does Harris, though, in all due fairness.
Who's a bigger brand than Trump?
Okay, well, let's take when Harris was running, okay?
Mm-hmm.
She had the billionaire Mark Cuban campaign. I mean, when I say campaigning, but with pushing her and speaking out and hey, this is who I'm supporting. These are reasons I'm behind her.
Mm-hmm.
Oprah Winfrey was with her, behind her. Beyonce.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if Beyonce's in the billionaire club. I'm not sure.
No.
She's in the hundreds of millions.
Yeah, hundreds of millions. She's not a billionaire.
Yeah, and Oprah did get some blowback, some negative one on that whole situation with Hawaii. Dwayne Johnson came out and he was kind of sincere in an apology of sorts when she's she's not campaigning, but she's out there asking people for donations of money and all this to help out Hawaii. And it's like, wait a minute, you got all this property in Hawaii, and why aren't you helping out people on your property? And how much money, you're one of the richest women in America. Why aren't you giving? And here we are hurting, living paycheck to paycheck, so, yeah.
No, well, if you can't compare when it comes to branding, you can't compare a Kamala Harris to a Donald Trump. You can't compare anybody.
Oh, yeah, with branding, yeah.
Well, that's what I'm talking about.
Like when they said, okay, I got you on that.
Yeah.
But as far as like, Trump's got all these billionaire friends, Elon Musk, and then all these other people. And whoa. So does Harris. Harris is.
I'm not talking about that.
Okay, but that's something different. I got you on the branding. Oh yeah, Trump's a big brand. Oh yeah.
I mean, we talking about casinos. We're talking about hotels. We're talking about buildings. You know what I mean? Like he's made a whole fortune out of just putting his name on it. You know what I mean? Like that's it.
Yeah, no. Trump Plaza was huge. You had WrestleMania there. You had Mike Tyson fights, other huge events. I mean, back through the 80s and 90s, you mentioned Atlantic City. It was, Trump.
It was all Trump.
Plaza was.
Hey, listen, I live in Philly. It was all Trump. But my point was he sells things. Like he's a straight grifter. Like you don't. I mean, look at the things he sold during his campaign. Watches, sneakers, paraphernalia related to him being shot at. I mean, all kinds of crazy shit. You know what I mean? Like when you really think about it, like the ridiculousness of it is crazy. But it shows you the power of popularity and what you can do, and what the way that you can move things and influence things and get people to do things that you want them to do or see things the way that you want them to see them just because when you're rich, people listen. When you're broke, people do not listen. They do not listen, not in large numbers. When you have money, you can say it's good to shit in your hand and wipe it on your face. And trust me, people are going to do it. Like, wait a minute. So if I shit in my hand and wipe it on my face, it'll help me make money? Yes. How do you think I became a billionaire? They're going to do it. I mean, and it's really that simple and that silly. But when somebody like let's say Donald Trump tells somebody like Colin Kaepernick that he should just, or LeBron James, that he should just stick to just putting the ball in the basket. You don't need his voice isn't necessary. And when you but somebody like Brett Favre, that's your guy. And you say, yeah, Brett Favre, this is our kind of guy. He's a great guy. I'm like, you mean a welfare fraud guy? That Brett Favre? Yeah, that Brett Favre. So I get it. When they're on your side, then you're gonna push it. When they're not on your side, you're gonna discredit them. Like, he's not that good. Or low IQ. That's what he likes to say. Low IQ, whatever the case may be. But what I'm really trying to talk about on this show is how some people will try to say that athletes or entertainers should not get politically involved in things. And I'm thinking that sounds stupid. It really does. If you really break down most professional athletes, they're healthy, they're wealthy, they're college educated. They may not have all graduated, but they all, for nowadays, they all went. They're visible. They're well respected, liked, revered, imitated. They have everything that a person would want in order to push a product or to have some influence or be an influence in some area. So if they want to go that route, who is anybody, any politician or any citizen to tell them that they should only concentrate on whatever their professional craft is? That would be like saying, well, if we actually spoke that way, then we shouldn't even have voters. What are you voting for? You're nothing but an electrician for. What do you have an opinion on who's Democrat, Republican, or independent for? You're nothing but a plumber. You're not an expert in the field. You understand what I mean? Like, I take issue with that. Like, what do you mean? There have been plenty of athletes. There are athletes who read, who study, who have been under the influence of somebody else who had influence on them. They've been exposed to when you have that much money and that much access, you never know who they may have talked to that may have said something to them or exposed them to something that somebody like you or I may never ever experience because we're not in those circles. You understand what I mean? Mm-hmm. So,
well, no, I'm in agreement with you. Whether it's, let's say, LeBron James, shut up and play ball, I'm against that because LeBron should be able to speak up whatever the hell he wants to say when it comes to politics and social issues. Now, want to criticize him and say, hey, he made this comment at such and such, and he's ignoring this fact and this fact. He really hasn't done his research worth a damn when he's telling people such and such. Okay, I'm cool with that. But what I'm not cool with, and I'm totally with you, is whatever athlete or celebrity telling them, hey, you're just a movie star, or you're just a basketball player. Just shut the hell up and only speak on your sport, or only speak on your profession doing movies or TV, where, like, no, they have just as much as right, just like you make the analogy, a voter, whether it's just Joe the plumber or it's, Tim the electrician or whoever, everybody should have the right to go speak. But I also would also bring up the point, I understand some people who don't want to speak up on it because it's not really, they're not as well versed in it. They have their opinion, let's say, whether it's conservative or Democrat or other, and they just keep to themselves on it. There's quite a few different reasons. One is, like you say, the money aspect of it, so they just keep to themselves. But there's other reasons just as well.
Well, there are ways to have influence without speaking. I mean, when Colin Kaepernick was kneeling down, he wasn't speaking. Remember, he wasn't saying shit. Yeah. And because he wasn't speaking, we could not necessarily nail him down on anything to misspeak about. It was a smart move, but come to find out that he had some backroom deals going on or whatever. So, he profited the whole time, which is something that you have to take into consideration as well. But nonetheless, even though I'm not so sure that his heart was in the place that a lot of people placed it in, he did influence a lot of people to take a stand as well as he did. I just don't know if they were really standing in the same line of fire or the same space that he was. Like, to be honest with you, when Colin Kaepernick was doing his thing, I was always real suspicious. What's up, Mafa King back? Tonight we're talking about shut up and play ball. Should athletes and entertainers have be involved in social and political issues? That's what we're talking about tonight. So a lot of people think that they shouldn't be able to, or they shouldn't get involved in politics or social issues, or try to get into those spaces. So we're talking about that tonight. Also, okay, so back to what I was talking about.
Yeah.
With Colin Kaepernick, what I noticed about that time is that, you know, everybody, I ain't gonna say everybody, but everybody who was supporting him, all the people who were supportive of him was talking about how he's better than this quarterback and that quarterback, and how could they draft this guy or pick up this free agent when Colin is so much better, and why is he blackballed? And I'm thinking to myself, like, how many times, like, what's your record on pushing or on saving anybody else's job? Like, have you even saved your own job in life? Have you saved the neighbor's job or a friend or a brother or sister or a coworker or an old classmate or something? Whose jobs have you saved? Have you ever marched on a picket line or anything like that? But here you are advocating for this millionaire athlete to get a job making more millions. For me, it didn't make a lot of sense. You understand what I mean? And maybe because I was looking at it from a different angle, but to me, it didn't make any sense.
Go ahead.
Well, I think that you just have to start on a certain level and then rise to that level. Like, if you haven't done that kind of work on the lowest level, at the grassroots level, but you'll do it for somebody you don't even know, never met, probably will never meet, but he just means a lot to you because he's doing something that you think is brave. I don't know. I wasn't going for it. To me, it was all smoke and mirrors. And the result kind of proved it. I'm not mad at him for doing what he did, but I just smelled a rat at the time.
No, where I'm with you on this aspect of it was he got, oh gosh, I'd have to look it up again, but he got a big chunk of money, like in a lawsuit against the NFL, and claimed that there was this widespread racism with it, why he didn't get picked up, but yet he was trying to get back on the Jets, and there was some other team after this. And
who are we talking about?
He wasn't going to play Colin Kaepernick. He won some big lawsuit against the NFL, got a big payment, and then he was gonna. There was the Jets and some other team. There was talk that he would come back. Remember, he had a private. It was like a private practice or something. Was one of those teams. I forget the NFL team, but nothing came about it. But as far as his kneeling was, well, what we're told and what he claimed later was social injustice. And then I didn't like the fact he was wearing. Now it's his free speech, but I also have my free speech, to either support somebody or criticize him. And I'm going to criticize him when he's wearing socks that have a picture of a pig with a cop's hat on it. When he was doing some practices, that police are pigs, and that there's this widespread social injustice that just about the majority of cops are out there going and attacking and killing minorities all throughout this country, which is just not simply true. Yeah, there's incidents where this has happened, but we're talking less than 1%. But this is just where I personally disagree with the social injustice narrative that he had. But I do support his right to take a knee, and as like I say, where are we as a country when somebody has an issue and they want to take a knee during an anthem is a peaceful protest and means. It's like it was said with the January 6th attack. A lot of people that went inside that Capitol building, like these are the same ones that were criticizing him him and others all the football players taking a knee during an anthem. I'd rather have a group of people all take a knee somewhere and do a peaceful protest. That's the one thing I really support him on. And then, as I just said earlier, what I would criticize him on that. Oh, before I take off, my suggestion to you, what I was thinking of, maybe like on a Wednesday or a certain day, maybe we could do like a reaction hour on your show, whether, let's say, something controversial, but a video, let's say it's a police interaction with somebody, or it's a comment made by somebody, and show it and have like a reaction hour. I was thinking that would probably be something cool to do on the show, where we do the topics on the issues, but actually show the video and say, okay, here's some different things, and but kind of like a reaction thing is something, just an idea to throw your way.
Yeah, it's a little harder to show video on a live stream is a little harder, because you can't, you kind of have to show it on the camera. I don't have the equipment to be able to put it on, like YouTube doesn't necessarily have that type of technology. It's not a Pro Tools type of thing where I can infuse a video live on a show or whatever. You know what I mean? They don't have that type of those types of production tools. So I could have it on a device and just show you on here. You know what I mean? But I don't know if it has. Yeah. So I mean, it could be worked out, but it's not like you would see it on the screen the way it does when you actually are able to edit the video, cut it, and put it in the like a pre-recorded video. You don't necessarily have I can't cut to the video like you would see on the news or whatever. Play the clip. Right. Yeah, not on a live stream. It's a little tougher. Now the concept
doing the video would be easier. I've done that before, doing YouTube videos where I use the screen recorder software, and but that would be that would be more, I guess, you doing a video on, let's say, some incident that involves, let's say, somebody getting killed by the police, and it's kind of controversial, where you can understand, let's say, where the police come from, but then also where protesters come from, or it could be some comment made on, let's say, CNN or Fox News or something else that's controversial, or whatever it might be.
Yeah.
That would be more of a video type thing, and you could go in the corner, which I've done before, and then have a reaction. All right, well, just an idea.
Yeah.
No, I understand.
It's not a bad idea.
A TV screen behind you and say, okay, here's something that just happened, and I'm going to play this minute and a half video.
Yeah. I mean, I got a tablet big enough. I got a 15-inch tablet. I could just put it right here in front of the camera. You know what I mean? There are generic ways I could do it. It's just I don't like to do stuff like that, but but it's not a bad idea, and it is an option. But the premise that you're talking about is doing a reaction video, and that's something that I would consider in a way. To be honest with you, without had you brought it up, I wouldn't do it, because that's very TikTok-y. You know what I'm saying? And I can't stand that shit. But it works. And I understand where your heart is with the suggestion. You know what I'm saying? I hate that shit. I mean, but yeah.
Yeah. Maybe once in a while, a few times a year, if there's something really controversial and something that's, good discussion that you find real interesting, then you might revisit it. Before I go, football real quick, if I could with you. Oh, football? Man, the Lions, and then I'm in Detroit, man. I'm a big Lions fan, but oh man, they got exposed where I'm looking at the Vikings, the Eagles. Let's talk NFC. They're gonna be in some deep trouble now. They might hold on to that first slot seed. I could see them eking out a win against the 49ers and Bears coming up, but I think they're going to be in trouble at Ford Field with the Vikings. I love Campbell, and he really gets 110% and just taking some of these players that was they're not Pro Bowl, but he's got them playing. at the best they can. But there's only so much he could do with what he's got when you get against a team like the Eagles or, the Vikings coming up. And then, the Bills, and then his comment I didn't agree with at the end of the game when he was talking about how the players that, they didn't prepare well enough and blah, blah. No, the Bills were just a better team, offensive, defense, period, hands down. They kind of gave up some garbage yards to the Lions towards the end of the game. But yay. I think they're going to try to favor Mahomes and the Chiefs against the Bills. Let's say I see in the AFC playoff, but I think the Bills will overcome it and they'll take them out. If it's Bills and Eagles, that one I'm on the fence with as far as, oh boy, there's just things I like about both those teams. I mean, I'm still going to be rooting for my Lions, but when I look at it, it's just without Hutchinson and a lot of our defensive players just out, it's come to surface now, and it's like, okay, if you had some lucky wins against the Bears, that one against the Packers, but when you go against the cream of the crop, they're in trouble. It'll be a good one though. Eagles are going to beat at Washington, because didn't they beat Washington not too long ago on a Thursday night, but it was a close one. So if they pull out that win in Washington, I see them a really good chance of grabbing that first slot seed. If they lose against the Commanders, then I think they're going to be having to come to Ford Field.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to lose any more games because we got to play. We got to play the Commanders. We got to play Dallas, and we got to play the Giants. Yeah. I'm not sure if it gets any sweeter than that. You know what I mean? Like, if we fuck that up, we don't deserve to be. I don't even think we deserve to be the third seed. If we goof that up, you know what I mean? But I don't know if I share the same concerns with the Lions as you do. I didn't consider them to have gotten exposed. Y'all have so many injuries on defense. That's the real problem. You know what I mean? Now I don't like all of the decisions that Dan Campbell makes, like that onside kick. That's no. With that, it was too much time on the clock to be doing an onside kick. But I also understand that your defense wasn't stopping anybody, so it was like, well, why not? But the thing is, giving Josh Allen a short field when he was already on fire, it didn't work out. Had it worked out, Dan Campbell would have been. He's the guy who always goes for the home run and it works, right? But when it doesn't work, we can all pick it apart. But I think once y'all did y'all have y'all bye week?
Oh yeah, the Lions.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody's had their bye week.
Yeah, I'm thinking you must have had it, but it never seemed like I don't remember when it. Well, how long ago was it when you had your bye week? Because I don't remember them having a bye week.
It was something in October. I do believe by Thanksgiving, all bye weeks are done.
Okay.
There's no more bye weeks by then. Where I mean exposed. We both agree that there's some major issues with the defense, but when we're talking playoffs, and then they go against, let's say, well, it'll be interesting here with the last game of the season. The Vikings are going to be coming to Detroit. So I'm just,
I just don't worry about the Vikings when the playoffs come. They fold, man.
Well, I could see them beating the Vikings, especially only beat them on the road. Now, granted, at that time we did have Hutchinson, but I don't want to put everything on one player. But wow, I just there's a problem, especially with defense, and I saw that Buffalo just marched down that field, put up 14 points, and just was like, what,
Yeah,
you can't be doing that if you're talking. You want to go Super Bowl and all the way. And then, that's what I meant to say. I'm sorry. One more thing with them is, they got these wins, but I mean, we got the luck of the draw, beating up on the AFC South, and then we pulled out two. sometimes luck works out, but you only get lucky so much. Like with that Bears and Packers game, both those wins. I mean, we really got lucky. Well, you can't just rely on the luck all the time. Almost got lucky and took out Buffalo. If we would have got that onside kick, we would have got a touchdown. We would have won by 1 point. It was done. It was game over. But yeah. But I know Washington Commanders have a pretty good team, and they are going to be in Washington. The Eagles are favored a little bit, but I could see the Commanders, eking out a close win there. Definitely, I don't see the Cowboys or the Giants beating the Eagles. No.
I just don't think that the Eagles are peaking at the right time. They're getting better as the season goes on, which is the total opposite of what happened last year. You know what I mean? Like last year, they were pretty much spent. And by the time they got to the San Francisco game, they were exposed and they were pretty much tired. And there was a lot of infighting and all of that. When you start losing, all of those things start to come to the forefront and they have an effect on your ability to finally win some games. Now, when it comes to when getting back to the Lions, I think that once if y'all can shore up that defense, those defensive injuries, then I think you'll be right back at it because you're not just beating teams, you're beating them bad. It wasn't like the way we were winning last year. We were winning, but we were winning a lot of close games. The Lions, normally when y'all beat somebody, y'all beat them decisively. It's almost embarrassing. You know what I'm saying? So there's a certain strength there. And, Goff is a really, really good quarterback. And the offense is so good that as long, if y'all get the ball first, y'all can win any game. You know what I'm saying? So there's that. But we'll see. We'll see. I like I said, I really don't think that we'll lose another game. But of course, that's my bias. But strength of schedule, they shouldn't. But I know that down the line, if it comes down to it, I know Sirianni likes to rest players to get them ready for the playoffs and stuff like that. But I doubt if he would do that if we're trying to get the number one seed. And I really think it's going to come down to I think the number one seed is going to come down to maybe the last game, the final game of the season. Because I don't know if the Lions are going to lose another game either.
Well, the one.
Of course, they do have. Y'all have a tougher schedule. Yeah, y'all have a tougher schedule. Yeah.
It's a few things I didn't like. We got two great running backs with Gibbs and Montgomery, but they keep that play calling, man, running them up the middle, and they're getting stopped, and then the defense there. But that's the thing. That's going to be the one where that's not going to be an easy one for them, that Vikings game. And then with the Eagles, I would say if they were to lose one of the last three, the toughest one coming up would be in Washington. But no, I could see them winning in Washington, but I can also see that thing coming down to a close one and maybe Washington eking it out. I mean, stuff happens, a turnover, stuff like that. But I definitely don't see the Eagles losing to the Cowboys or the Giants. No.
Well, the historically the Redskins or the Commanders, whatever you want to call them, they have a hard. They always play us hard. We could be winning 16 games on the season, and those damn Redskins will give us the loss. They always play us hard, but they're different now, and we're different now. So we're gonna beat them. Like right now, we're where we want to be on the season and as a team. This is probably the best Eagles team ever. As far as star power is concerned, ability is concerned. Our biggest weakness is and was coaching. And even that has improved right now. So I don't know how it's any given Sunday. Anything can happen. But I just think that we're gonna pretty much run away with it. But I don't know if that means that the Lions are going to lose again. But y'all do have a tougher schedule, so we'll see. We'll definitely see. Yeah.
Hey, before I go, we're still on football. AFC, Bills, Chiefs. What do you see? And then do you have some other team that might be a spoiler getting that AFC championship that might take out the Chiefs or the Bills? Just curious what you got.
I don't trust the Bills when it comes to AFC championships, and I don't trust the refs when it comes to Kansas City. The refs have given Kansas City 2 Super Bowls, as far as I'm concerned, really. And that's whether you're talking about being in the Super Bowl, like when they beat us. I feel like the refs robbed us, and they definitely, robbed was it the Bengals or was it the Bills in the AFC Championship? It was the Bengals. The Bengals should have been in the Super Bowl instead of the Chiefs. So you have to consider those things, and that's why I talk sometimes. That's why I did the other show about how do we know that sports aren't fixed sometimes, because sometimes things they obvious, and they're also things that you can't necessarily prove, but they don't pass the eye test. It's just one of those things. But we'll see. But I hope it's not I don't want the Chiefs to be in the Super Bowl again.
No, me neither. I'm not a big Chiefs fan in the sense where I think it's just so much of a popularity push that there's some definite official favoritism towards Mahomes and that team. I know some people say, "Oh, I'm just a hater," but that's what I don't like. But I see Bills and Chiefs AFC Championship, and I'm going to go with the Bills are going to overcome and beat the Chiefs again. I'm just not seeing some team upsetting either one of them. I mean, what are you going to maybe Ravens? Steelers? What's out in the West? The South is maybe Texans?
I don't think so.
I'm just having a hard time seeing the Bills and Chiefs. Maybe, possibly the Texans might be. I mean, if you had to, I just see it. Bills and Chiefs AFC Championship, and the Bills should overcome the Chiefs, I think, in the official favoritism towards Mahomes and the team there.
And of course, that's barring whether Mahomes folds, because he folds sometimes. You know what I mean? He folds like towels. So we'll see. Yeah. And those pressure moments, and he's good for an interception in crunch time too, which makes no sense. I mean, you play in Buffalo. You should be. I figure if you play in a place that cold, you should be able to do anything. Hey, I guess it just doesn't work that way. But I don't know. But we'll see.
Yeah.
We shall see.
Yeah. Hey, cool. Thanks for taking my call, and
always
enjoy the show, man.
Always, man. Take care. Have a good night.
Hey, you too.
All right. Good stuff right there. Good stuff. And y'all can call in too. 267-874-1949. You can call in. This is a totally uncensored show. My man chose not to, drop any F-bombs or he's always a good gentleman on the show, but you don't have to be. This is a totally uncensored show. You can bring it the way that you mean it, and you can say it how you feel it. I want to talk to my man Mafa King Baz. First of all, peace to you, my dude. And I just wanted to make myself clear about the whole Colin Kaepernick thing. What I meant was, or what I mean is this: he put his career on the line, but he did so voluntarily. Like, what a lot of people didn't understand about the whole thing that he did, it looked to most people like he just decided to put his beliefs before his career, but that's not necessarily what he was doing. And a lot of people didn't understand that he didn't get kicked off of San Francisco. A lot of people thought that he got kicked off the 49ers, and he didn't. He decided that they actually was going to let him come back the next year, but he decided that he wanted to test free agency. He wanted to test his worth in free agency. Now, he was too hot for TV. After kneeling for a whole season and causing a lot of attention mainly to himself and his cause, he had the whole NFL in an uproar. And you can do that when you already have millions of dollars and a way to be able to take care of yourself, a way to be able to take care, pay your bills for multiple years to come. You know what I mean? You can do that when you've gotten a signing bonus that was worth millions of dollars and things like that. So, but I'm not saying that he didn't have anything to lose, but somebody who already has millions of dollars in his bank or millions of dollars of worth versus somebody that's counting on their check from week to week or every week, every other week or whatever, where they may be only bringing home like $1,000 or a couple of $1,000 or whatever. Like it's different because they don't have the kind of nest egg that they can just live off of if things don't go right. And like I said, he was testing his worth in free agency. He knew, and his agent knew, that no team was going to pick him up. So they had to make another deal. They had to make another plan. No team. There was no way any team was going to pick up Colin Kaepernick, even if they agreed with what he was doing, even if they thought he was a really good quarterback. And as far as him being a really good quarterback, I thought he was okay. I never thought he was great. I never thought he was like elite. And, for everybody to be talking about, well, all of his supporters to be talking about, Colin is better than this one and he's better than that one, and he's just being blackballed and stuff like that. He wasn't blackballed outright, but he was blackballed. But I think he helped himself become blackballed. Y'all know about and I hate to say this because it sounds like I'm throwing leaders or I'm throwing activists or warriors under the bus or whatever, but y'all may know Mumia Abu-Jamal from Philly. He was a radio personality and a social and political activist who was accused and convicted of killing a police officer in the early 80s. And worldwide, people have been involved in the Free Mumia campaign. And we're talking about, he's been locked up since like 81, man. Since 1981. And, people who weren't living in Philly, who not from here, who weren't old enough at that time, they don't understand a lot of the circumstances that went around the decision to convict him and to not exonerate him or to not pardon him or anything like that. Mumia, when he stood trial, there was plenty of evidence that could have exonerated him. They could have acquitted him. But he made the whole court session so much of a spectacle. He made it so much of a circus. There were protesters out and he's yelling and screaming and talking about how, he was talking about stuff that didn't have anything to do with the case. And it was just, there was no way he was going to get away with that. I always wondered what would have happened if he would have been calm. I always wonder what would have happened if he would have just let his lawyer do the talking and present the evidence that was necessary in order to get him out. Because I'm sure there was evidence to this day. There's evidence that would have exonerated Mumia Abu-Jamal, but he never even got a chance to be able to be granted a new trial or to make an appeal or have his appeal considered. They said no. And a lot of it was because of his rabble rousing. Now, I'm only bringing that up to say this. Even though Colin Kaepernick kept his mouth shut, he had so many people around him. Remember, they were boycotting the NFL. They had people saying, I'm not watching any games. I'm not going to any games. I'm not buying any paraphernalia. I'm shutting this whole thing down. No NFL. And I don't care how long it takes. That's the energy that was going on. You think that an NFL team is going to sign a quarterback that's bringing that kind of energy? Where I guess everybody who is a supporter are going to go to his games or whatever. But you got the nationalists, the super patriots, and all that kind of stuff. They talking about the military. Him kneeling is like disrespectful to the military, which wasn't true. But there was a chance for them to make something different out of everything that was happening. He was too hot. There was no way he was going to be able to get on a team. It would be like taking money away from your own self. Like, yeah, I'm going to hire this guy even though I can't pay him. Because it would have pretty much put you in bad with your fans forever. So, yeah, Colin Kaepernick had to get blacklisted. But he was able to prove that he was blacklisted, and that's how he was able to sue the NFL. And that's the thing that kind of got me. Colin Kaepernick prevailed and was getting paid the whole way, and everybody else was fighting for him to get paid. He could have at least said, yo, man, financially, I'm good, y'all. Don't worry about it. But he just kept his mouth shut. He spoke initially, and then he didn't say very much. So that's what I was talking about with that. But he definitely had the right to take the stand that he did. And I think that in many ways, his heart was in the right place. I think in some ways, his heart wasn't exactly where people placed his heart to be. But ain't that America? You and me. Ain't that America? Home of the free, baby. Hey, it goes the way it goes. Shout out to John Cougar Mellencamp. But yeah, man. Damn, hold on, man. I didn't, you know what? Y'all may not get dressed tonight, but I'm not doing a show without getting dressed. Let me put my shit on. Better late than never. Better late than never. Let me get y'all outfitted. I don't have time to do the vote. So I'm just going, the one in the middle. That's it. Get y'all there. Get you there. I'm sorry. It's been a long day. A little rattled. Get my shit right. But yeah. Shut up and play ball. It's disrespectful. When I hear athletes like Marjorie Taylor Greene say things like that, LeBron should just stick to, keep putting the ball in the basket. I think whoever said that, Ann Coulter, I believe, was the one who told him that he should just stick to putting the ball in the basket or whatever. I'm thinking like, man, I get it and I resent it at the same time. I get that you don't want the type of influence, the negative influence, or the influence in opposition to you. You don't want that to flourish. So, to defend yourself, you will try to discredit an athlete or whatever. But if there's a chance that you mean in your heart of hearts that they shouldn't have an opinion, that they shouldn't have anything to say, that they really should just shut up and play ball, that's not getting it. Because if they should just shut up and play ball, then they should just shut up and not do any commercials. How many products do you think would do as well as they do if they didn't have, like, let's say there were no Air Jordans? What would life be like if there were no Air Jordans? So Michael Jordan was just a basketball player. I don't know if he would have won 6 championships, 2 3-peats. I don't know if he would have done it. Now, I can't say that his basketball shoes helped him do it, but it didn't hurt it. It definitely didn't hurt. As he won, his sales went up. Y'all remember the year? Remember the year he retired and went into Major League Baseball? Was playing on that farm system league. Those were the worst Jordans that came out. That's number one. Those were absolutely the worst Jordans that ever came out. And it didn't work. It just wasn't. It wasn't the way that he needed to go. He knew it. We knew it. But hey, man, you know, when your dad is slain on the road, on the side of the road, and you have some suspicions of how come, you know, it happened or whatever, you know, it was a depressing time for him. And people do things when tragedy strikes for them. So I wasn't mad at him. But even though my point is that even those Air Jordans, sold a lot. So if we can't have athletes and entertainers be the voice of certain people and be the voice of social change, social injustice, social awareness, political change, political justice, political awareness, fairness, then we shouldn't have them as consumer products or as ways to get us to buy things either. That's just the way I feel about it. If LeBron James can't be leading the charge for opening up a school, having a direct interest in inner city youth being able to have opportunities, things like that, then he shouldn't be able to sell sneakers. He shouldn't be able to be on TV shows and movies and anything of that ilk that will help somebody to sell something. You know, fast food or anything. Now, there's something that we need to address when it comes to the athletes. Many of you may know what I'm about to say, and some of you may not know anything about what I'm about to say. Cheryl Halsey, what's good, man? Good to see me some you. Okay, now, when Muhammad Ali took the stand, when he allowed himself to be put out of boxing during the prime of his career, because he refused to enlist in the military and he was aligned with the Nation of Islam and all of that kind of stuff. League owners, the NFL, the NBA, NHL, Major League Baseball, they took a strong look at how Muhammad Ali was. And what they did was they decided to make all of their athletes sign contracts that said that they would not engage in any activity or join any groups or organizations that were considered divisive, nationalistic, or anything, because they didn't want their brand to be tarnished by discrimination or social, political injustice or anything like that. So they made sure that there was never going to be another Muhammad Ali, because Muhammad Ali didn't shut up and punch. He refused to just toe the line and act like everything was okay as long as he was okay. He refused to do it, which really solidified him as the greatest. But there will never be another Muhammad Ali because of these non-disclosure agreements where you have signed that you will not be a Muslim, not a regular Muslim, or Sunni Muslim or universal is Muslim, but you won't be an FOI Nation of Islam Muslim, or 5% Nation of Gods and Earth Muslim, or a skinhead or neo-Nazi or member of the KKK. So it works both ways. It works both ways. So it's not a situation where only black athletes are being held to this standard. It's not that. No basketball players, no white basketball players or football players. They can't be one of the they can't be a Hell's Angel or a pagan. Not gonna happen. Can't happen. It says it right there in their contract that ain't gonna happen. That is absolutely 100% no way in heaven or hell going to happen, because it will void your contract and you are out of here. And there is no athlete that's so great that a team will say, well, whatever he does is okay with us because he brings in so much money or whatever that is worth it. Those teams, every NFL team is a billionaire pretty much, and so they can afford it. They can afford to let go of a player regardless of how good he is. Even a Tom Brady, even a LeBron James. I mean, athletes leave teams all the time for better opportunities, right? So they don't have to hold on to the goose that may lay golden championship eggs. But nonetheless, shut up and play ball. Shut up and play ball. Should athletes be socially conscious, politically conscious? I don't think anything is wrong with trying to improve your condition or the condition of people that you care about. I don't see anything wrong with that. I never have seen anything wrong with that. And I don't think I will see anything wrong with it. And I don't care if you're black or white or Latino or Asian or whatever. I don't care. I think you have a right. You should reserve a right to be able to speak out in a way that, as long as it's respectful and as long as it's impactful, I think you should be able to express it. Everybody doesn't have to agree. Everybody has to work with somebody. We do not all have to agree. We just have to know that we have to work with our neighbors, our fellow man, our siblings, our parents, our co-workers, our club members, teammates. We have to work with them. And it's not always going to be easy. Sometimes it's going to be very hard. But nobody should be able to tell you that you cannot do it because you're nothing but an athlete. The caller that was on the line, he was talking about how Robert De Niro used to always take shots at Trump. You know, obsession is one of those things. I don't know if anybody within the sound of my voice has ever been obsessed with somebody. Have you ever been obsessed with somebody? Have you ever been so in love with somebody, so enthralled with somebody, so, how can I say it, so smitten that you didn't feel like you could either live without them or you weren't ready to test the waters to see if you could make it without them? Well, if you've ever seen things that way, you know, like, you'll understand why people will put up with certain things. You'll see why people put up with certain things that other people do. Sometimes the value is there. Sometimes the value is there. Well. Dro's 52. Well. Well. Why don't you just write it out? This is sick AF, twisted AF. What's so sick and twisted about it? Sick, twisted. I don't know. What's so twisted about it? What's so sick about it? I don't know. But yeah. Everybody should have a right to be able to express how they want change to come about, or to show somebody a different way from a different perspective. Everybody should be able to do that. I mean, that's whether they're an athlete, that's whether they are an entertainer of some sort besides being an athlete, like a singer or rapper or an actor or whatever. Advertisers, commercials, they use celebrities all the time. Celebrities bring in revenue. Not just for themselves, but for other people who hire them. But what's the general consensus here? I know it's not a lot of us, but what's the general consensus? Do we think, for the most part, that athletes should, be politically conscious, socially conscious? I don't see how they can't really. I really don't. I don't see how you can resist becoming socially conscious. If you have a conscience, how do you justify not helping somebody that needs help? How do you do it? We know it gets done, but how do you do it? When you see somebody in a situation where you feel like they've been done wrong, they've been treated poorly, they've been done badly, and you don't try to help in any kind of way, or it doesn't pull at your heartstrings in any kind of way, no way, shape, or form. I mean, when you think about it, like that's more than ridiculous. That's more than ridiculous. But these are the things that people who are in opposition will try to easily exploit, or they will willingly exploit these kinds of things. Shut up and play ball. Disrespectful. And and this is a public thing. This is not something that's being said behind closed doors, because if it was, then that probably wouldn't have the same kind of impact. It can always be my word against your words when it's only me and you in the room. You don't know. How about that? Have you ever saw a fight in the middle of the fight and you were never able to get the true story about why the fight started in the first place? Neither party seemed to be willing to answer questions about their involvement. Well, how'd y'all start fighting? Well, he just came and punched me in the mouth. So we started pugging. We started rumbling. We see. Baby hits a wall. Athletes can do whatever at their own risk to their career. Just like doing stuff at work, in the office, or at the job. That's one way to look at it. He says, as I see, artists do not equal athletes. As I see it, artists do not equal athletes. They don't. Selena, girl, say you are the urban guru. Mahara of love. That's what's up. Appreciate you, Selena. Appreciate her. But yeah, why wouldn't athletes listen? Our kids, from the time that we are kids, we grow up, we have our favorite football player, our favorite basketball player, whatever sport you can think of. You know how when you're a young person, everything is about favorites. What's your favorite color? What's your favorite car? What's your favorite food? What's your favorite this? We spend a lot of time when we're very young talking about what's our favorite. So we're used to making a choice, and we're used to drawing a line in the sand. At what point does being an athlete stop you from doing that? If you're an athlete, if you are on in a team sport, the basketball, the hockeys, the baseballs, the footballs. If you are in the soccer, the everything else. If you are in a team sport, you understand the relevance and the importance of teamwork. You understand the relevance and importance of leadership. You're on a team and they give that C to the captain of the team. He or she wears that C, and they wear it visibly. And it lets you know that that they have done what it takes, and that coaching or management or whatever has believed in this person and chosen them to lead the rest of the players on the team. So this team goes through an Allen Iverson, or through a Shaquille O'Neal, or through a Kobe Bryant, or through a Steph Curry, or what's my man name? I was about to say Stephon Marbury, but no, not at all. The one that has won a couple of championships. He won one in he won one with Golden State. Maybe it's a war says I think artists fit better to talk about social change. I mean, they have the visibility. They have the visibility. They have the respect of people. Hello World says aiming for stars was in the curriculum. Kevin Durant was who I was thinking of. Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant. Yeah. Athletes have the visibility. From the time that we're kids, we grow up, maybe liking superheroes, cartoons, and professional athletes. Who's your favorite baseball player, basketball player, football player? Favorite. When we're kids, we're always talking about favorites. Who is our favorite? Why they are our favorite? So if you can have an opinion on who's the GOAT, who's the best, how is it that you can't talk about who's the best to bring about social awareness, change? Yeah. Athletes are the people to do it. You don't have to say, I mean, they can read off a teleprompter or read from prepared statements, that kind of stuff too. They don't necessarily have to be right there on the front lines. And and once again, I understand why some athletes have not put themselves out there to be scrutinized in that way. Not everybody wants that smoke. Not everybody can handle that smoke. Hit the like button, y'all. Share the show. Subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to the channel. What? Subscribe to the channel. It's time to ride. We gotta do this thing. It's past 3 o'clock. It's getting close to 4. We give you a little bit more. Gotta ask y'all what's really in store for this life, that life that I'm living. I'm trying to make sure that past Thanksgiving comes Black Friday and then the day that we call Christmas Day. And I say, hey, we give presents, but we also have our presents felt. Yeah, like Kaepernick, his knee, he knelt. He had to kneel down for the crime that was committed. He felt like black people was definitely getting shitted on. It didn't start the day, won't end the day. We got to do things and play our own way. All right, hold on. We have a caller. On the line. Caller with the last number is 9721. Hold on just a second. Hold on. Yeah, I got you, but just hold on for a second. Yo, we coming. Hold on for a second. All right. Olajuwon was my favorite athlete. Wow, Akeem Olajuwon. All right. Not a bad choice at all. All right. Caller with the last number is 9721. Welcome to the Daily. What's good, man? How you feeling tonight? Or this morning?
I'm feeling good. Getting ready for Christmas, making all the purchases. But I'm baby hit the wall in the chat. But yeah, I totally agree with you, man, about the social change that athletes should make. I too think it's inspirational when athletes, just like coworkers or whatever, makes social change within the ways that they work. But so why do you think athletes are better than like artists, like as in like actors or all that?
No. I don't prefer one over the other. I just think I take issue when people tell entertainers of any area that they can only speak on whatever their job is. It would be like if you were a chef at your job, it would be like somebody telling you that all you can talk about is food, or all you can talk about is cooking or preparing meals. Like, what do you mean? It's not all I do in my life. You went to school, you've read things, you've known people, you've traveled the world, you've learned things. You understand what I mean? So that's pretty much what I'm talking about.
Sorry. Continue.
No. I was saying that's what I was talking about. I take offense when people try to tell entertainers or athletes that they should only concentrate on whatever their performing art is. I'm like, what do you mean? So
I used to be super right wing, and I at one point heard that talking point from some, Steven Crowder.
Wait, but who?
Steven Crowder.
Yeah. I've definitely heard of him.
Crazy guy. I used to listen to him back in the day, like way back in the day.
Okay.
But I'm super left wing now. I watch a lot of his songs, but I took issue with that even back when I was watching Steven Crowder. People should just be there to do their job and blah 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 blah. That made no sense to me. I didn't get that.
Okay, now why did you say that it didn't make any sense to you? Like, what example do you have of what like? Let's play devil's advocate. What did Steven Crowder say about it making sense? Why did it make sense to him that they should only stick to doing whatever their job is and not worry about anything socially or politically? What was their reason for saying that?
You showed stuff about how they have sponsorships and they could lose money, and how most people this is back when Colin Kaepernick was a thing. We were talking about how they're losing money because there's a lot of Republicans that watch football, and this is not the right way to do it. and this is un-American, this is disrespectful, that type of reasoning. And as un-American and disrespectful as you might think for kneeling to the flag, it's a cause that he supports, and I totally believe that he should have the right to do it, even against sponsors, at the risk of his own career.
I agree.
Not saying that he should have protection because of it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It's still a business anyway. Like, let's say if you had some guy putting this, I don't know, hail Hitler during the fucking Pledge of Allegiance or whatever, the national anthem.
Yeah.
You shouldn't do that, and that's against the sponsors, and then they'll probably fire him. But, you know, I believe that it's very inspirational to see a person put their career on the line for a cause like that, you know?
Yeah.
Just as, like, if you were in the office and you had a boss that was, I don't know, being racist to an employee or something like that, and seeing somebody go, hey, that's not right, I'm going to report you to HR, even though they might lose their job or whatever.
Yeah.
You know?
I do. Oh, okay. So I want to ask you a question. Why was Colin Kaepernick kneeling down? Why was that so unpopular with Republicans?
They didn't like the Black Lives Matter movement. They thought it was a anarchist, like white people run. So it wasn't even standing up for the people that, like the people that run the Black Lives Matter movement. At least from their view, were all white people, white anarchists that just wanted to break and rob buildings. So.
Well, they weren't 100% wrong in that perception. They just weren't 100% right. There were a lot of white people who joined in the Black Lives Matter movement. Some of them for good intentions, and some of them for maybe neutral or not so good intentions or whatever. But there's no doubt that there were a lot of people involved in in Black Lives Matter. But that shouldn't take away from the people who really do believe that Black Lives Matter and are out there in the trenches every day, trying to make sure that fairness is being spread around for all, and that people aren't being discriminated against or being targeted for violence, for hate crimes or whatever. You know what I mean? I get that part. The thing about it is, on the negative side of Black Lives Matter, it could be said that a lot of people join Black Lives Matter just to be able to tear up some shit. You know what I mean? But that doesn't mean that Black Lives Matter represents that. But hey, somebody can do something in the name of somebody else all the time. You know what I mean? I could, if you and I were friends, I could easily go and, I don't know, bust out a store window or something like that and say, well, my man, he told me to do that, or he told me that it would be okay if I did that, and I wouldn't have done it in any other way or for any other reason. It doesn't necessarily have to be true. And so when we're dealing with athletes and social justice, political justice, even just things like maybe providing zoning for a recreation center or a new school or something useful in the community, that's still socially conscious, and it's still politically conscious too, because in order to get a building permit or zoning permit, you got to go to what we call the municipal services building or whatever. So it's not something that you can just do on your own. So if you pursue that in any type of way, you are still being socially and politically conscious. So with that being said, who's to say that athletes and other entertainers can't become deeply entrenched in politics? Look at Ronald Reagan. Ronald Reagan grew up as an actor, became president of the United States. First, he became the governor of California. So becoming the president of the United States wasn't too far off for him. But he was an entertainer. That's what he was. Clint Eastwood. I believe Clint Eastwood is some type of politician, a mayor or something for his neck of the woods. Let me see.
I'm not familiar on Clint Eastwood. Tell me more about. Wait, who is? Well, I know he's an artist.
Clint Eastwood,
right?
Yeah, he's an actor from back in the day. You know, he started off being in a lot of old cowboy movies, and then he was in this movie in the 70s called Dirty Harry, and it was a real popular series. You know, it was about this cop, you know, a road cop or whatever. You know, but yeah, Clint Eastwood. I believe that he holds public office. Let me see. Does Clint Eastwood hold public office?
According to Wikipedia, political office and commissions, Eastwood made a successful foray into elected politics. He won election as mayor in April 1986 of Carmel by the Sea, California. Population 4,000, a wealthy small town and artists community on the Monterey Peninsula.
Okay, so it says Clint Eastwood made a successful foray into elected politics. He won election as a mayor. So he was elected to mayor in April 9th of 1986 of Carmel by the Sea, California. Population 4,000, a wealthy small town and artist community on the Monterey Peninsula. So he was, you know, look at well, let me finish that thought. Clint Eastwood was an actor. He wasn't anything else that anybody knew. He was an actor, a gun-toting actor, and he started becoming political. He ran for public office and won. And you look at Arnold Schwarzenegger. Arnold Schwarzenegger is from Austria. Barely speaks. Well, he speaks a lot better English now. But in the 80s and stuff like that, he didn't really speak because he didn't know the language. You know, he was a muscle-bound freak, and he became governor of California. So you can either say that anybody can become governor of California, but, you know, do you consider bodybuilders to be athletes?
I'm honestly not too sure about that.
Right.
The difference between bodybuilders and athletes in like the NBA and is they don't have these big arms moving around them. You know, they pick their sponsors. That's like a runner being political, or like a tennis player.
Yeah,
almost. You know, they have. I mean, I guess they work in leagues that have sponsors, but they don't necessarily. You're sponsoring. You know who you're sponsoring when you're sponsoring Arnold Schwarzenegger or who's the female black female tennis player? Serena Williams.
Serena Williams. Yeah.
You know who you're sponsoring, but when you sponsor the Nets basketball team or the Eagles, you know, you're sponsoring, and then they're trading people throughout the season. And let's say they sponsor somebody who's unfavorable, that people don't like, or says some crazy stuff, whether it's crazy or not, doesn't matter. Then your brand looks bad, you know?
Yeah.
But in that way, I guess, Arnold Schwarzenegger is an athlete, but is able to do social change better in that way. Kind of like how a singer or an actor or stuff like that, you know?
Yeah. Well, his story, his success story was notable because he had so many challenges with his accent, you know, with learning the language. You know, in many of his movies, he didn't really talk. You know what I mean? His accent was so thick, and I don't really think he knew a lot of English, especially when in the Conan the Barbarian years. You know what I mean? He didn't talk at all. They had to give him non-speaking roles, but nonetheless, obviously, he had a social and political voice that he eventually matured into and was able to hold public office. You know, Governor of California, that's nothing to sneeze at. You know, California is it's the second biggest state in the, well, I guess it's the third biggest state. But one thing is for sure, it's the second biggest state within the United States, the continental United States, you know.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to count Alaska, Alaska is, that's not exactly.
In terms of population, isn't it the second biggest next to New York or
what? California.
California? I might have that wrong.
No. You got it right.
Yeah.
Texas, New York, and California, they have big population, but California, you know, in New York, most of the people live in New York City. The rest of the state, you know, is spread out. You know what I mean? But California, there are people all through California. You know,
not only a big population, but also very strong political forces within California. Not only the center for Democrats, other than Washington, but also big Silicon Valley, not really made yet when he was governor, but, you know, these big economic forces in California.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
That's really impressive.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not easy. It's not easy for anyone to hold public office. It's really not. And when you start going higher and higher up the ladder, like trying to become a president or something like that, I don't think people even understand, even after this last election, how hard it can be to get elected to president of the United States. Things have to really, really fall in place for you. It's not an easy thing to do. It's not one of those things that you can make happen. You know, like things that you do on your own merit, with your own skill set. Yeah, that's cool. But when you start talking about becoming political, I don't want to say a politician, then you realize that you have to get people to help you. You can't do it by yourself. You can't do it in a vacuum. You can't do it with just a handful of friends. You need a team of people in different areas in order to get it done. So I get it. And I'm only saying this because it lends to the athletes or the entertainers' credibility. But when you start talking about athletes, you're talking about people who are healthy, or at the very least, very healthy looking. You're talking about people who are pretty wealthy, definitely more well off than the average person. Then you're talking about people who have a lot of money. So you got health and wealth. You know, it makes sense to me that people would accept their opinions on certain things, whether they consider themselves or whether they took into consideration getting politically motivated or whether they were deciding to run for office or whether they were deciding to become more political motivated, socially conscious, things like that. There's nothing wrong with taking a stand for whatever you believe in. I don't see anything wrong with that. But I understand that your opposition or haters or whatever, they may try to discourage you from being a true influence on people that they may be trying to be a bigger influence on. But yeah, athletes, they have a lot of good stuff with them, and many of them are very good businessmen. You know, so
you have to be, especially with all the managers and stuff like that orbit around you when you're like, especially a big,
yes.
big athlete. You got team that managers like and scouts and stuff like that, and a lot of these people have camps and like foundations around them.
Yeah.
Like kids for football or whatever they do.
And
why do you think we haven't had a person, or I don't know if we haven't, but at least to my knowledge, we haven't had a big person that runs for office that is an athlete inside of like the NBA, NFL, NHL, or any of those bigger American organizations. Why haven't we seen any person run for office yet?
Out of some of the athletes?
Yeah, out of the big four, NBA, NFL, NHL.
I don't think that now there have been athletes that have run for office. Like on the Philadelphia Eagles, there was a lineman named John Runyon, and he was actually like the mayor of one of those towns that he lived in New Jersey. So there have been plenty of athletes who have held political office. They may not have been the big numbers that you're used to, but let's look it up, because this should be an easy thing to find.
Mm-hmm.
What politicians have held public office? I'm sorry, I said politicians. I got to get it together. That's how I know it's late. Okay, let me see. Have any athletes held political office? Let me see. List of American sports person politicians, ex-athletes in the United States, USA. Let's see. 12 pro athletes who became successful politicians. Let's have a look at this. All righty. Okay, right here, the one that I was talking about. John Runyon, U.S. Congressman, 2000 from 2010 to the present day. Who else? Dave Bing, mayor of Detroit, from 2009 to the present. Let's see, he was a 7-time All-Star guard in the NBA and was eventually voted into the Naismith Hall of Fame. The Detroit Pistons legend was also the Rookie of the Year for the 1975-76 season.
I didn't know this. I actually I didn't think anybody like.
No,
they're probably people for mayors. I didn't know this. Wow, I learned something new today.
And these aren't small places where they've become. I mean, mayor of Detroit. That's not a small thing, you know. Then you have Kevin Johnson. He was a basketball player. Mayor of Sacramento, California. You know, Sacramento. Remember, that's the capital of California. So, yeah, Kevin Johnson. Let's see who else. Heath Schuler, congressman, from 2007 to this day. He was a quarterback for the Washington Redskins. I remember this guy. Definitely remember. Lynn Swann of the Cowboys, the Dallas the Pittsburgh Steelers. He was a wide receiver. Republican candidate for governor in 2006. It doesn't look like he won. He said chairman of the President's Council on Physical Fitness, is the only political office Swan has ever held, but he won the GOP nomination for Pennsylvania's governor race of 2006. How about that? Let's see. Of course, Arnold Schwarzenegger, governor of California from 2003 to 2011. He got reelected. Steve Largent, I remember him. Largent is a congressman from 1994 to 2002. Let's see. Tom Osborne, U.S. Congressman, 1995 to 2003. He was a wide receiver in the NFL. J.C. Watts, U.S. Congressman from 1995 to 2003. And he was a quarterback at University of Oklahoma. So he's a Sooner. And, okay, let's see. Bill Bradley, from U.S. Senator from 1979 to 1997. And he was with the New York Knicks. There are a lot. I'm not even going to go over all. There are a lot of them.
Yeah, I didn't even.
Yeah.
What the heck? I'm searching them up. These guys are big big guys. What the heck?
Mm-hmm. So this is something that has been done before. You know what I mean? This is not. So that shut up and play ball shit. No. You know, they knew more. Oh, yeah, Hello World said Herschel Walker. That's true. Herschel Walker. Where's bum ass? Yeah, good looking out for that. I forgot about Herschel Walker. Let me see. My man Ogabek Ismatov. What's going on? Good to see you. And Jen Ramirez. Y'all coming up on the end, man. We about to get on up out of here. Listen, I want to thank you for calling in, man. I appreciate you. Mucho.
Thank you so much for answering. You have a nice day.
You too, man. Appreciate you. Good stuff there. Gusto. All right, y'all. We are about to do some birthday shout outs. Right out. We are about to do some birthday shout outs. Right out. We are about to do some birthday shout outs. All right. Let's see. Oh, hey, I'm about to do the wrong thing. Oh, let me get it together. We have some birthday shout outs to do. Some people were born on this glorious December 16th, and they deserve to be acknowledged. So let's go about our business of acknowledging them and making them feel special because they are special because they are special because they are SPECIAL. We get the RESPECT. They are SPECIAL. We get the RESPECT. They are SPECIAL. We get the RESPECT. They get number one out the box. My man, Derek. From right around the way, my man Derek Jennings, happy birthday to you, my dude. And also Leslie Renee, happy birthday to you. And my man Lump, which stands for Life's Ugly Money Problem, happy birthday to you. And Willette Ford, happy birthday to you, Ma. And my girl, Go Getter Angela Kelly, happy birthday to you. And Janice Wilson, Maya Noisette, Tanisha Hudgens Walker, Zakia Madu, Sassy Diaz, Danielle Downing, Aisha Cherry, Siobhan Lynn, that Philly Go Flow, Queening Bostic, Herbie Vince Rodfield, and my young cuz Candace Nere, I don't even know how to pronounce her last name. She got married. That's not the last name we know. It's all good. I want to say happy birthday to all of y'all, and I hope that today finds you all in good health, happiness, mind, body, soul, and spirit. And that goes out to each and every person out there born on this glorious December 16th, anywhere out there in the world, worldwide, internationally, and universally. All of y'all go ahead and turn up. But don't turn up too loud. Just turn up loud enough so everybody can hear you. Rock out, rock on into the damn, the rock out, rock on into the damn, rock out, rock on into the damn thing. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. I said, Yo, well, we got to stop judging. We gotta stop judging you on the things that you do, whether you're athletes or you sing, who or anybody else to tell you what you can do or think for yourself. You see children, you see elderly, you want to help. Don't stop until you get that thing off. They can't tell you you could be hard, only soft. Yeah, concentrating, putting the ball in the hoop. Talking to, yo, troop, listen, we can take it to where we want to be. Anybody who has a little knowledge can see that you can take it anywhere that you want. You got to study, got to practice, got to go for what you want. And if anybody try to stop you, make sure that they on some other shit. Can't top who? Do you really feel like you could be? If you really want to stop the athletes, you'll see. Even entertainers, singers, and actors, we can do this shit. We gonna get right after. You know what? Speaking of the ridiculousness of not thinking that athletes should concentrate on social and political change or become socially conscious. What's the main reason that so many people love Tupac Shakur? What was the main reason that most of Tupac's loyal ass fans of almost 30 years, what was the thing that they loved about Tupac? His social consciousness. He gave a shit. Whether you were talking about kids, whether you were talking about gangsters, whether you were talking about just regular townspeople or whatever, he showed and he had a voice. He used much of his fame in order to bring awareness to certain issues. Now, he was irresponsible in a lot of ways that he carried on, and I think that those things contributed to his downfall. But one thing that nobody was able to ever say or even think about saying to Tupac was just shut up and rap. Put it in a song, nothing else. He wasn't going for that, and nobody wanted him to go for that. Anyway, the standards that we set for somebody, if we setting good standards for somebody, we should probably put those expectations on a bunch of people. Other than that, we picking and choosing. Well, you do this and you do that. Peace to all my day ones, my everydays, and my brand news. I love y'all to death, resuscitate y'all, and love y'all right back to life. We will be back tomorrow night at 2 a.m. So come bring a friend, and we gonna do this from beginning to the end. It's gonna be all right. Gonna be all right. We gonna do this thing tomorrow night. It's Tuesday night. All right. Make sure y'all go to my channel after this is over. Make sure y'all go and like my latest video. And this was it. This is just a YouTube short. It only take you 2 minutes to watch.
So, for all my fans,
check it out.
Grinch Who Stole Christmas, this one's for you. Wahoo, wahoo, wahoo.
Some of y'all may have seen it already.
Wahoo, 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 wahoo.
Make sure y'all check out this video. It's just a short. Play it like 100 times though. Play it like 100 times. Yeah. I can play it live. Matter of fact. Matter of fact. Yeah. I'll play it live. Yeah. Word. So y'all see the video. Wahoo, 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 wahoo. So we're gonna do it like this. No. Chill. All right. Let's do it like this. So, the Grinch Who Stole Christmas. If you listen to the songs in the Grinch Who Stole Christmas, it was like, they were like, the words sounded to me like, wahoo, 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 and we good. Peace to all my day ones, my everydays, and my brand news, my daughters and sons. Everything's good, y'all. All right. So I can take off my uniform, put it on late. Almost got written up for not having it on. We good. King Kong ain't got shit on me, says that's what I'm talking about. The Eagles game was rigged. Yeah, it was rigged, all right. Man, can't nobody get with our defense, man. Can't nobody do nothing with us. Listen, it's going to be a long season. We got 3 more regular season games. It's going to be a long season for everybody else except us. Because we're going to win out. We're going to win out. If we lose another game, I just don't see how it's going to happen. We got to play the Redskins. Oh, the Commanders. Then we got to play the Cowboys. And then we got to play, I think, we play the Giants on we play the Giants on Easter. I mean, Easter. On Christmas, around Christmas, New Year's or some. Let me see. Let me get the rest of this schedule together. Let me get the rest of the schedule. The rest of the schedule. Hold on, my peoples. Let me get the rest of the schedule. By the way, when I was at the game yesterday, I met this couple that sat in the seats next to mine. I'm not going to bitch about how much my season tickets cost anymore. I'm through with that. I will not be bitching anymore about how much I have to pay. So yeah, we got Washington. Yeah, that's it. Washington, and then the bum ass Cowboys, and then the lowly New York Giants. So, and they don't even know which I think that the Giants game is probably going to be on a Friday night or Saturday night, some crazy shit like that, because they want to avoid making it too close to New Year's or some old craziness. We played the Cowboys on the 29th. The 29th is maybe that's the Saturday game. Let me see. My calendar. Why the calendar no come up? Okay. The 29th is, no, this is Sunday. Commanders is a Sunday. I don't know. Now I'm confused. Okay, because the Giants game should probably be after the new year. Anyway, y'all have a great night. Hit the like button, y'all. Share the show. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet. Make sure y'all make it back here tomorrow at 2 a.m. Make it here on time, too. You know what I'm saying? But I appreciate y'all. So, peace, y'all. Good night.